So now we have already done our annotations, made the XML files. The next process is to reprocess those XML files and get the information which we want. So let's open the notebook. This is the notebook which I have. So let's first import some of the classes which we want. So we are using a package called the XML tree, element tree in XML to extract all this information. So let's let me get all those files which I have. So you have to give your specific path here where the data is kept, and then these are all the files which I have for the potholes. So next, we will try to extract the different elements from this XML format and get the information which we want. So let's look at that XML again. So if you look at the XML, so many of these are, it's like a tree. You have different branches and roots, etc. So you have the folders, file names, and then inside that you have the width, height, and you have an object and all these things. So this is the way we are going to extract this. So let's one of the first thing is to we're just taking one of the XML files, the first XML file, and then get the tree. So it's extracting the complete structure of the XML, which is it's passing the XML file and extracting the complete structure of it. And we're getting the roots. Roots means each of the elements in the XML file. Like, say for example, these are some of the roots which we are going to extract. So let's try to extract the root and the child of a root, and just print the tag of each of them. So you can find you have each of those elements which we have, the folder, file name, path, like all these things, path, source, etc. So which we have listed down here. So if you want to extract some specific elements from this, or specific text which is there, you have to give something called the root.find and the specific element name which we got. So we have got your file name. So if you want to extract what is the name of the file, so this is the way you extract it. Let's run it. So this is the file name, pothole1.jpg. So you can find it here, pothole1.jpg. That's what we have extracted now. Similarly, let's try to extract the width and height of the basic image. So similarly, root.find, then you have the size, root, you have the size, which is the element, and then width, the height will give you the width and height. Okay, so similarly, root.find size, and then inside size, width and height. That's for the first image. So you can see it's 275 and 183. Okay, now ultimately what we want is, along with the file name, the overall width and height of the images, the most important thing which we want, or most important element which we want, is the bounding box, the class name of the class name first, and then the bounding boxes, the xmin, ymin, and xmax, ymax of this. So for that, if you remember, our bounding boxes are kept in something called objects, and you have the class name also as there. So we will find all the objects. What we do is, in the first line, we find all the objects and store it in a variable called members. Take one of the first one, the first object we are going to take, and then let's just print the name. So name is your actual class. So here name is your class, and then under bounding boxes you have your the coordinates. So you're getting from the member, you're finding the name and extract the text, and the bounding boxes, and taking only the xmin and the text. So you can see that we have extracted the pothole and the xmin, which is this. Xmin is 64, and the class is the pothole of the first element of the first member. That's what we have extracted. So now these are the moving parts. So this is all what we need to do. Now we will combine all these things into all these different elements into a function, and then extract all this information which we want for all the files, and then save it in a CSV file. So we will do that in a function. Okay, that's what we will see next. So let's go through the function XML to PD, or pandas data frame. The methods, or the steps here listed are all those things which we have just seen. So first we are opening up or initializing a list where we store all the data, XML list, and we iterate through all the XML files which we have. So all these XML files which we have, we're going to iterate through that. And then for each of the XML file, we're going to get the tree element and the root. And these are the information which we're going to extract. We're going to extract the file name. So like using the root.find file name, the width and height from the root. So this is the width and height of the base image, or the image. And then we are going to find the objects. Now, as you know, the objects stores the classes. So all the classes and the bounding boxes are stored in what we call the object. So as we have seen before. So now and then now we have taken each of those members. Now we'll have different objects here. So for this file itself, there are many objects which we have annotated. So we're going through each of those objects, which is the member. So each object is a member, and then for that member we are finding the bounding boxes. So this is the bounding box. So bounding box, this block contains the coordinates. So we are taking each of the bounding boxes, and then we are storing all these information into a variable called value. So here you are adding your file name, your width, height, your name, and all the coordinates. So coordinates, as you can see, you're using the bounding box and then finding the xmin, ymin, and xmax and ymax. So, and then we are finally appending all this value into this list. So once this is done, we convert this into a pandas data frame XML list and give the columns name. The column names would be the file name, width, height, etc. So this is what the function is. So it's a very simple function, and let's run this and then get the output of it. So here this is the output which we get. So here you can see it's a pandas data frame though. So you have the file name, its width and height, and the class, and your bounding boxes, the coordinates of the bounding boxes. So we can, once we have this pandas data frame, we'll save that into a CSV file and store it into into the drive. So that's all for as far as the XML pre-processing is concerned. Now this is a very important step, because we have extracted all the information which we want from the XML files. After we annotated, we have extracted all this information which we want, and we'll be using this CSV file which we have just extracted in many of the processes, in many of the in the post which comes next. That is when we train train the potholes using many algorithms which we'll be exploring, like your legacy algorithm, like your image pyramids and sliding windows and RCNNs and YOLO. Everything will use this information. Okay, so this is save this file, and we will be using this in the subsequent post. So that takes us to the end of this post. So let's summarize what we've done so far in this post. So what we have done is one of the most important aspects, which is to collect your data and annotate the data. So we initially saw the labelImg application. Using the labelImg, we saw how we could draw the bounding boxes and annotate the classes which we want on the images. And we saw how those, after saving it, you found this how the data is stored in an XML file. And we took that XML file into a Python notebook and then extracted all these elements from there, which includes your file name, your width and height, and your bounding boxes coordinates. So, and then we stored it in a CSV file. And this CSV file, we'll have to use it till the end of the series, because all the subsequent posts will be using this information which we have stored in the CSV file. Now, what will we do next? Now we have got our basic data. Now is the turn for us to do a lot of training on the data, and then predict and then find the bounding boxes. It's not the bounding boxes. Bounding boxes is ultimately a tool to get your localization. So what we are going to do in the next subsequent post is we'll explore different methods of object detections, and our object which we are going to detect is the pothole. So in the next post we'll cover the legacy methods like the pyramids, image pyramids, and the sliding window. So until then, thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed to this post or the YouTube video, please remember to subscribe to this post so that you get notified of future videos and posts. So thanks for watching. Have a great day.